ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ, मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, friends. A very warm welcome to our Business Opportunity Over Chai. And this special edition, Business Opportunity Over Chai, will help you to understand the greatest business opportunities that we Franchise India specially brings for you. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by management team of Franchise India, Mr. Gaurav Maria, Chairman at Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand to explore new business opportunities. So for today, we have invited a great brand come from the South region, Savart, AI-based personalized financial advisory in stock and mutual funds and gold, starting with the investment of 5 lakh rupees with the area requirements of 150 square feet. Savart help you to make smart investment in stock, mutual funds, ETFs, and gold. To know more about this business opportunity, we have invited the team of Savart. It's Kranti ji, Chief Growth Officer, and the founder of Savart, Mr. Sankarsh. But before I invite them over the stage, I would like to hand over the stage to Saras Gupta. He heads the entire training and development of Franchise India. Welcome, Saras sir.
Thank you very much, Harshika, and thank you all the audience who have joined us live here and also watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you all for joining, and probably today the reason why you've joined, if I ask you, is because we would like to start a business. Everybody's aspiration is to start a business. But again, what business to choose is absolutely where Franchise India helps you. So typically, Franchise India has been an organization helping investors like yourself since past 25 years to help you select the right business. And the way we work is we have a simple methodology. We do SOMF fits. That's one of the part, which is strategic, operational, market, and financial fits. So these are typically fits on which the basis you pick up the brands and we help you pick up the brand. And when we really are doing this evaluation and suggesting the right business, the business that we suggest you has to be a problem solver. So today we're going to talk about the artificial intelligence, that how artificial intelligence is taking over the world now. And in the meantime, I would also ask all my audience to please use the Q&A box. We will run through a formal presentation by the brand, understand the business opportunity, and then probably start taking questions from the Q&A box. Do not forget to mention, let's make it interactive, that what city are you from and what business opportunity are you looking for, and also to mention if you have your own space that would help us identify that. So, friends, very warm welcome again. And as I was saying, we'll be talking about more of artificial intelligence. So, I think I have to needless to say that the importance of artificial intelligence in the new generation cannot be overstated. Uh, AI actually has the potential to revolutionize various aspects of our life, and it started, going to the big leap. So, top six reasons, top six reasons why AI is crucial for the new generation. The first reason is, of course, automation. When we talk about AI enables automation of tasks that were previously performed by humans, we all know, leading to increased efficiency and productivity. The second point would be advancements in the technology. So advancement in the technology, including the gadgets, has really improved and revolutionized the industry itself. As I clearly mentioned, point number three, the problem solving. The AI algorithms and models can analyze vast amount of data, identify patterns, and provide insights for problem solving is probably a part of AI. Now, again, after problem solving, the end result has to be personalization. So the fourth point comes out to be personalization and user experience. The fifth point comes out in artificial intelligence would be more of ethical consideration. The sixth is absolutely innovation and being entrepreneurship. So today we will absolutely cover in this presentation all the 6 points, and probably will start from the sixth one, which is innovation and starting a journey of being an entrepreneur. Today we're going to talk about a brand which is completely based on artificial intelligence. हम सबकी तमन्ना होती है शेयर्स में जाने की, म्यूचुअल इन्वेस्टमेंट में इन्वेस्ट करने की, बट अगेन आई डोंट नो वेयर टू इन्वेस्ट. Typically, I just depend on one person. There are a lot of artificial intelligence. I would not say intelligence, but platforms जो already market में launch हो चुके. It's actually a platform which enables you to which share you should buy. But nobody is suggesting you in depth what is the right time to buy that share? How is the market looking at the trend? Now, if you have bought the share, what would be the right time to sell that share? What is the right time to invest in mutual funds? Problem solver. Without investing a lot of time and your brains, why not use the technology which has been conceived by Mr. Sankarsh, who is one of the co-founders of this brand, and joined with him is Mr. Kranti. Mr. Kranti is the Chief Growth Officer, and both have really taken out their time, especially for us now, to understand the business opportunity. So, संकट जी, क्रांति जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका इस भारत फ्रेंचाइज इस बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी शो में, where we will launch you as a brand and let public know what revolution you're going to bring in India. Over to you, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Saras and the Franchise India team for having us here. And a good afternoon to all of the people who have joined in. And thanks for giving your time to learn more about our brand. So I'll quickly go through a minute of introduction before I just show up my presentation. So we are based in Hyderabad, and the company's name is Savart, Savart. So when we started this business back in 2019, when we received our investment advisory license from SEBI, and it has been our vision to create long-term outperformance and wealth, or that alpha over the benchmarks in the long term for our clients, basically. Our typical clients are retail individual investors, and our interest on why we started with retail and individual investors stems from my personal passion to help the average individuals create wealth, considerable wealth to achieve their financial goals in life, basically. So we wanted to focus on this segment of the customers, which were previously ignored very often. So if you're a HNI, or if you're a really wealthy investor, you do have thousands of options in the market already available. People would come to your doorstep and give you 100 investment options to invest in. But what if you are an investor starting with a 5,000 rupee or a 10,000 rupees of investment itself? You would have to settle with newspaper or news channels, or listen to grapevine and unsolicited advice on Telegram and WhatsApp to make your investment decisions, and these often result in losses, basically. So there was no reliable source of advice for these kind of investors. And that is why we aligned our vision and our passion to serving these clients. So it doesn't mean we will limit ourselves only to this segment. We are growing into multiple other segments, but this is where our heart and interest lies, basically. So I'll quickly go through a quick presentation in terms of what we're doing.
Mr. Sankarsh, as it's a mixed audience, so can you please keep it in Hindi and English? Both we will talk.
Sure, absolutely. I'll
Thank
try to put it in
you.
both languages simultaneously.
Thank you, Sankarsh.
मैं एक बार रिपीट कर लेता हूँ जो ब्रीफ मैंने अभी तक दिया था। तो सावर्ट एक इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइजरी कंपनी है जो इंडिविजुअल इन्वेस्टर्स को स्टॉक, म्यूचुअल फंड्स, बॉन्ड्स, ईटीएफ्स एंड गोल्ड इन चीजों में इन्वेस्ट करने की के लिए सपोर्ट करता है। और हम लॉन्ग टर्म इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में बिलीव करते हैं और लॉन्ग टर्म में एक आउट परफॉर्मेंस या अल्फा जिसको कहते हैं वो क्रिएट करने के लिए हमने जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, जो हमारा कांस्टेंट एफर्ट है, इसी डायरेक्शन में है। और हम उन इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ काम करते हैं जो ऑलमोस्ट फर्स्ट टाइम इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं मार्केट में। 75% ऑफ सावर्ट्स क्लाइंट्स आर इन्वेस्टिंग फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम। सो मतलब सावर्ट एक टिपिकल एडवाइजर ही नहीं है, वो इंडिया के इक्विटी मार्केट पार्टिसिपेशन को एक्टिवली बढ़ा रहा है एवरी डे। सो उसमें हमारा बड़ा योगदान है। सो इन कस्टमर्स को एडुकेट करने से लेके स्टॉक मार्केट क्या है, इसमें रिस्क क्या है, और 5 या 10,000 रुपए से स्टार्ट करके इन्वेस्टमेंट कैसे करना है, कहाँ करना है, इन सब का जो गाइडेंस है सावर्ट करता है इन क्लाइंट्स के लिए। और हम ये बोल रहे थे कि जो हमारा विजन है इस क्लाइंट सेगमेंट को सर्व करने के लिए, वो हमारा प्राइम फोकस एरिया है, क्योंकि इन क्लाइंट्स के लिए दूसरे जो सोर्सेस ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन है वो इतने रिलायबल नहीं है। अगर कोई इन्वेस्टर बड़ा अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है मार्केट में तो उनके लिए तो बहुत सारे ऑप्शन है, बट वो इन्वेस्टर जो बस अभी स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं और जो स्मॉल अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट करना चाहते हैं उनके लिए काफी कम ऐसे रिलायबल सोर्सेज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन है जिससे कि वो प्रॉफिट बना सके मार्केट में। तो हम इसका एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन देना चाहते हैं कि सावर्ट डिटेल में क्या करता है और हमारा एप्लीकेशन जो मोबाइल ऐप और वेब ऐप है वो करता क्या है। सो हम अपने आप को इंडिया ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइजर बोलते हैं, क्योंकि हम ना केवल इंडिया में इन्वेस्टमेंट की सहायता करते हैं बट यूएस एंड कनाडा में भी करते हैं। सो अगर एक इंडियन इन्वेस्टर को कैनेडियन या अमेरिकन मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करना है तो वो भी हम कवर कर लेते हैं। बट इसमें भी डिटेल जाने से पहले let's discuss about what are the problems that we are solving for investors basically. So number one, investments not linked to life goals, यानी जो फाइनेंशियल गोल्स है उसके अराउंड कोई प्लानिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं लोग। वो घर बनाना हो सकता है या मैरिज हो सकता है या वर्ल्ड टूर हो सकता है, लेकिन उसका कॉस्ट क्या है, उसमें इन्फ्लेशन को अकाउंट किया या नहीं किया, और कितने सालों में कितना पैसा उनको बनाना है। तो ये जो फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग एस्पेक्ट है वो दैट इज ऑफन इग्नोर्ड। सेकेंड, पुअर परफॉर्मेंस और रिटर्न्स। Majority of the people in the market don't even invest in the stock market, but those who do also suffer from losses and poor performance because of taking unreliable advice or making personal investments without doing adequate research, which leaves a bad taste in the mouth because they will think stock market is a gamble, मुझे नहीं करना है, सब ये पूरा गैम्बलिंग है, इसमें मुझे इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। तो ऐसा एक मिसकंसेप्शन बन जाता है। लेकिन रिसर्च के बिना हम जो भी काम करेंगे वो तो गैम्बलिंग ही हो गया। तो रिसर्च इज रियली रियली इंपॉर्टेंट। थर्ड, इनएक्सेसिबल इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइजर्स, जो पॉइंट हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किया है कि अगर हम स्मॉल अमाउंट या छोटे अमाउंट से स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं उसका कोई ऑप्शन है ही नहीं। Then fourth is low participation. Less than 3 to 5% of India's population invest in the equity markets. उसमें से जो एक्टिव डीमैट एंड ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट्स है वो और भी कम है। लेकिन अगर हम एमर्जिंग इकोनॉमीज को साइड में रखिए, अगर डेवलप्ड इकोनॉमीज से कंपेयर करेंगे तो हम देखेंगे कि इक्विटी मार्केट पार्टिसिपेशन हमारे देश का बढ़ने ही वाला है नेक्स्ट ओवर द नेक्स्ट डिकेड। सो बिफोर these young investors start investing, they need great number of advisors and wealth managers and asset managers to show them the way, and that is what Savart is gearing up to. And last point is in terms of active advisors. You'll be amazed to know that there are less than 1,000 active investment advisors in India for the kind of potential that our country holds. So this industry is just beginning to kind of grow, and already Savart को मैं बोलता हूँ हमेशा कि we are a big fish in a small pond. So we are almost one of India's largest investment advisors already, but then the market currently is growing but still small for investment advisors. So we need to actively grow, educate our clients, and get them invested into the market. So as a summary of the problems that we spoke about, most of the Indians do not enter stock market, And those who come in do not create long-term wealth. They fall into speculation and short-term trading, and they have a gambling perspective to stock market, which is very wrong and leads to losses. And last, in terms of, it doesn't fulfill their financial goals or needs basically. So what is the solution that we propose? So Savart is an investment advisory and investment technology company where we create customized and personalized investment portfolios. So just to give you an analogy, what do we do? Do not confuse us with a broker, basically. So I always give the analogy of a doctor and a medical shop. So Savart is like a doctor. We are like a financial doctor, where a client wants to invest. उनको अगर 5,000, 10,000, 10 लाख, 10 करोड़ इन्वेस्ट करने हैं, तो उसको कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करना है, कब इन्वेस्ट करना है, कब एग्जिट करना है, क्यों उसमें इन्वेस्ट करना है, उसका जो इन्वेस्टमेंट रेशनल और थेसिस, ये सब एक एडवाइजर प्रोवाइड करता है. जो ब्रोकर है वो एक इंटरफेस प्रोवाइड करता है बाइंग, सेलिंग और जो ट्रांजैक्शन है उसको कैरी आउट करने के लिए. सो ब्रोकर्स आर नॉट आवर कंपटीशन बट आर कॉम्प्लीमेंटरी बिजनेसेस. सो Savart is actually partnered with some of the top brokers in the country through API integrations within its platform. So broker is like a medical shop and advisor is like a doctor basically. So let's get into a little more detail in what do we do. So typical client comes on to the mobile or web application of Savart, logs in with their mobile number. Then they have a few subscription plans in terms of our services. We have a 1-year plan and a 3-year subscription plan. So in terms of so one is an annual and another is 3-year subscription. So both these plans include all of our investment advisory services. So from risk profiling until exit of the investment, entire services covered. So assume the client goes through our 1-year plan. And once that is done, we conduct a psychometric analysis, a risk profiling analysis called EFG, इमोशनल, फाइनेंशियल एंड जनरल एनालिसिस. सो ये एक प्रोप्राइटरी टेक्नोलॉजी है सावर्ट का, जिससे हम ये पता करते हैं कि क्लाइंट का इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रेफरेंस क्या है, उनके फाइनेंशियल गोल्स क्या है, उनका रिस्क टॉलरेंस क्या है, उनको कितना अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट करना है, उनके एनुअल इनकम को अगर हम कंसिडर करेंगे, व्हाट इज द रिकमेंडेड इन्वेस्टमेंट अमाउंट. सो ऑल दीज एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ देयर पर्सनल इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोफाइल आर गैदर्ड बाय EFG. And EFG is a continuous process. The way the client interacts with the platform, the number of times they're logging in, the number of times they're viewing the dashboard, all these behavioral metrics are actually accounted into the EFG profile. So once this is done, we do not directly send the advice to the client. जैसे typical investment advisor को अगर आप सब्सक्राइब करेंगे, वो नेक्स्ट डे या नेक्स्ट वीक से आपको एडवाइस भेजते रहेंगे, आप ये स्टॉक खरीदिए, ये स्टॉक बेचिए. बट we do not believe in a push-based kind of an advice, because the client may not have the funds, may not have the time to invest in all of those opportunities, and it does not make sense कि हम एक साल में 100-200 recommendations हम दे देंगे और client invest करेंगे भी नहीं इन चीजों में. तो हम क्या करते हैं, इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइस रिक्वेस्ट एक नया फीचर हमने बनाया, जहां क्लाइंट ये डिसाइड कर सकता है कि महीने के कौन से दिन उनको कितना अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट करना है, कौन से कंट्री में इन्वेस्ट करना है और कौन से वैल्यूज के साथ उनके इन्वेस्टमेंट को अलाइन करना है. मतलब if you want an ESG compliant portfolio, if you want a Sharia compliant portfolio, if you want a Jain compliant portfolio, you can customize all that within the Savart app, and you will control how much advice you want on what date of every month. So once you set up your advice request, the system automatically looks at your EFG profile and gives you the advice. And the second screen from the left is how your advice will look. Now your advice not just has details on what to invest, but also it includes details on how to invest. ये जो invest all का button है, आप click करते ही you can invest through the Savart application without going out of the app into through any of your broker or demat account that you have. You can simply link it by logging in and place your trades. And the last screen from the left, right? So that's how your dashboard will look once your investment is made. So from profiling until you actually make the investment, you do not need to get out of the Savart app basically. And many of the clients ask, ठीक है आपने तो बता दिया कि ये शेयर में आप पैसा डाल दीजिए, but क्यों डालूं मैं? Just because Savart's AI is saying so? Absolutely not. So we have created a rationale called research note. So हम तो मार्केट में देखते हैं बहुत सारे ब्रोकर्स अपने रिसर्च रिपोर्ट्स डालते हैं, बहुत सारे एसेट मैनेजर्स भी डालते हैं, बट उस रिसर्च रिपोर्ट में बहुत जार्गन होता है. तो हमने क्या किया, रिसर्च नोट बनाया जो कि एक सिंप्लीफाइड वर्जन ऑफ रिसर्च रिपोर्ट है, जो एक्सप्लेन करता है कि आपको ये स्टॉक क्यों रिकमेंड किया जा रहा है, ये म्यूचुअल फंड आपको क्यों रिकमेंड किया जा रहा है. तो उनका पूरा डिटेल्स आपको रिसर्च नोट में मिल जाता है. तो ये सभी चीजें जो है, ये Savart का प्रोप्राइटरी टेक्नोलॉजी जो अपार्ट एडवांस प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन एंड रिसर्च टेक्नोलॉजी, ये जो AI इंजन हम बोल रहे थे, ये सब जो सर्विस हम बात कर रहे हैं, this is powered by the Apart engine. So I'll take 2 extra minutes to actually explain what Apart system does. Apart has 3 core engines. So ये back end research engine है जो पूरे investment research process को automate करता है. इसके 3 जो engine है, Quant, Iris and Synapse. Quant उन चीजों पे रिसर्च करता है जो न्यूमेरिकल, मैथमेटिकल एंड क्वांटिटेटिव डेटा है, जैसे P&Ls, कैश फ्लोज, बैलेंस शीट्स, रेम्यूनरेशंस ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स, मैनेजमेंट. So any data about a security or an investment that is quantitative in nature is analyzed by Quant. Iris qualitative and subjective information को analyze करता है, जैसे corporate governance, moat, sustainability, brand quality, brand equity, stakeholder relations, civil and criminal litigation against the company and its promoters. जो भी चीजें हम numbers में नहीं बोल सकते, वो ये Iris engine scrape करके, interpret करके insights देता है. The last engine, which is Synapse, has 2 aspects. One, EFG profiling जो हमने बात किया, उसको Synapse control करता है, entire risk profiling system को. And second, आप जब invest करते हैं, उसके बाद जो portfolio का tracking है, उसका rebalancing, मतलब जो भी changes from time to time required है और exit, ये पूरे चीजों को automate Synapse करता है. And together, these 3 engines automate your entire process from investment research until exit. So from discovering an investment opportunity, say in Canada, there is a small company mining gold and or into gold refining. From identifying that small company as an investment opportunity until you exit from that investment and achieve your financial goals, the entire process has been automated. Now, इस चीज का यही बेनिफिट नहीं है कि हम ऑटोमेशन कर लेते हैं, AI एक बज़वर्ड है तो हम भी उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट कर लेते हैं, नहीं. क्योंकि हम छोटे इन्वेस्टर्स की बात कर रहे हैं जिनका इन्वेस्टमेंट अमाउंट छोटा है, तो हमारा सब्सक्रिप्शन अमाउंट भी तो छोटा होना चाहिए उनको अफोर्डेबल बनाने के लिए. सो उसको अगर हम अफोर्डेबल रखने की कोशिश करेंगे तो स्केलेबिलिटी एंड लो कॉस्ट ऑफ हैंडलिंग पोर्टफोलियो होना चाहिए. तो इसीलिए हमने ये सिस्टम को ऑटोमेट किया. एंड थर्ड रीजन, जो फंड मैनेजर्स होते हैं मार्केट में, ऑलमोस्ट 95% ऑफ ऑल फंड मैनेजर्स इवन फेल टू बीट द बेंचमार्क. यानी म्यूचुअल फंड्स और एक्टिवली मैनेज फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट करने के बदले अगर आप इंडेक्स फंड में इन्वेस्ट कर लेते हैं जो सिंपली इंडेक्स को मिमिक करते हैं, उसमें आपका ज्यादा पैसा बन जाएगा. क्योंकि एसेट मैनेजमेंट इज एन आर्ट एंड वी कैन नॉट बिलीव इन अ सिंगल फंड मैनेजर टू मैनेज ऑल योर हार्ड अर्न्ड मनी. That is why I have automated this system, because we cannot trust and believe in a single fund manager's emotions, whims and fancies and risks, basically. That is the beauty of automation. And Apart is currently handling over 10,000 unique portfolios and 2,100 crores in asset under advice for Savart for clients from 33 countries and 24 Indian states. And this same system can automate up to 1 billion unique portfolios at the same time. यानी अगर मैं और क्रांति दोनों आज अगर लॉग इन करेंगे अपने Savart प्लेटफॉर्म में, within 6 months, 3 to 6 months, both of us have a very personalized portfolio. Because if you as a person are unique, your personality is unique and your profile is unique, your portfolio also must reflect you. It's not a one size fits all approach. Everybody's risk tolerance, financial goals are different. So this is all that Apart can bring to the table. But at the end of the day, you might be wondering, ये सारे jargon तो सही है, but लास्ट में पैसा कितना बनना है, क्योंकि क्लाइंट को तो ये सब इंपॉर्टेंट है ही नहीं कि आप AI यूज करो या पेपर पे रिसर्च करके आप इन्वेस्ट करो. So Savart has given a tremendous outperformance over the benchmark Nifty since September 2019. So हमने एक छोटा सा ये illustration बनाया. Illustration doesn't mean this is an estimate. These are actual numbers which we are showing you. So we have almost doubled the performance of the benchmark, almost versus a 12% return of Nifty since September 2019 till date, 12% CAGR. We have almost done 23 to 24% CAGR, means 100% outperformance over Nifty. Plus, Savart's portfolio is a weighted average of all the unique portfolios, and it's a blend of equity and debt. अगर हम only equity portfolio of Savart को compare करेंगे निफ्टी के साथ, तो outperformance close to 200% है. So the North Star metric, we are doing really good there. These numbers we have already spoken, and we cover over 60,000 investment opportunities in India, US and Canada, which Apart is tracking in real time, and it covers billions and trillions of data points and data sets to actually make an investment decision. Now you might also be confused about what makes Savart different. most of the options on the market are actually investment platforms whose sole purpose is to make your investment transaction simpler, not to create alpha for you. So most of the platforms are focused on having a nice UI, a nice UX, easy onboarding experience, easy KYC, opening your demat account, creating a seamless broking experience. There are very, very few providers in India whose sole focus is on retail investment advisory. We can get into a few more details as well in the Q&A session. In terms of our traction and growth, we've grown our revenue almost 10 to 12 times in the last financial year, albeit on a small base, but we still believe it's just the starting point for us here. And recently, we have also received our PMS license. Until now, like I was saying, we were just a doctor where we were only advising people. But going forward, we also want to be asset managers. So Apart is going to be a robo fund manager. So we have received the license for that. Within 1.5 to 2 months, we are also going to start working with HNI clients and start managing their money. So from asset advisory, we are getting into asset management. And we are also applying in the future for mutual fund AIF licenses. The idea for Savart is to become an entire capital market ecosystem player. So right from educating investors about stock market, why you should invest, till settling the trades on a stock exchange, within the next decade, Savart will own the entire capital markets ecosystem exposure, basically. So just like an investor who's starting out and wants to know or get educated, why should I invest? So from that point till the end point of settlement, basically, of a trade, we want to be everywhere. And for that, we need to build trust at the grassroots level. You must be wondering, when we are so digitally enabled, why are we even opening franchisees, basically? Because India works not just on technology, but on trust. People do not give their hard-earned money just because I, as a young entrepreneur, have started something. It's not an encouragement, nor is it that if I talk about AI, it's not convincing enough. So there has to be performance. There also has to be trust. So people like to talk to people. So they want to understand how their money is safe, why they want to invest through us. So to do that, to reach out to the most remote, rural and suburban areas of India, we need to have physical presence. We need to have offline marketing and an offline presence. And that is the reason we are getting into these segments as well. In terms of a team, we have a really, really nice team, and that's the reason behind our entire success so far. We'll get into a lot of details. We have people from RBS, we have people who have been CTO and CEOs of multiple listed companies and multiple startups, and with over 20-40 years of experience collectively in this domain as well as outside this. So we can get into a lot more details. So I'm just skipping in interest of time, and I'll open up to Q&A, and thanks again for your time, and we could get into detail in whichever aspects people are interested.
Sure. Thank you, Sankarsh. Excellent opportunity that we have. And in the meantime, we also have our MT, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, who's an industry expert and our MT of Franchise India. So, ma'am, welcome over here, and over to you.
Saras, and thank you, Shankarashi and Krantiji, for this wonderful presentation. It was very, very informative and educational, I would say, at the same time. But before I take up questions, I am seeing some questions have already been posted. We'll take some of the questions which are already given by our audience. But before I do that, can we take maybe the next 5 minutes to take them through what exactly is our financial proposition? Who are we actually looking at becoming partners? What do we expect from partners? What are the different formats we are soliciting interest, and then we will have relevant questions coming in. So there's something we already have in terms of a presentation or an Excel that perhaps you want to showcase, would be good to get started with.
Mr. Sankarsh, are you bringing the presentation? We'll talk about the financials now. What is investment, operational expenses, revenue?
Sure, absolutely. Kranti, you want to take that up?
Yes, Sankarsh, I'll take it up. Yeah, let me just show the screen. It's already on our website without the commercials. What are the 3 different kind of partners that we are looking at? So I'll share the website screen itself, so it is easy for people to see. The hope you can see the screen. This is on our website, our partnership model.
Yeah, we can see that.
So how there are three ways you can become a Savart's partner in terms of business and start earning any income that you want. So one is the referral partner. Referral partner is simply any customer of ours can actually refer their clients, friends, and all, and become earn a referral bonus for it. So there is no space requirement or anything. It's a simple, because you are our customer, we value that any customer that you bring in is also valued for us. Then there is a franchisee partner or a growth partner. So we give franchise partners. There are two models on franchisee partner. One is single unit, multi-unit for a area, or entire state as a exclusive partnership for a state master franchisee. These are the only two opportunities that we are looking at right now. So as a single unit, multi-unit for tier 1, tier 2 cities, or we are looking at entire state as a master franchisee business. So the space area, the income, the investment that we look for you to open a single unit or a multi-unit is around 5 to 8 lakh of the investment is required to start a single unit, which includes interior cost, which includes initial 3 months of promotional budget, and it also includes, this is the budget which is including our franchisee fee, which is around 2 lakh rupees for a single unit franchisee. So, and the time that we take for you to onboard or as a franchisee partner is around one day to 2 days. And in terms of profile that we are looking at, see, in terms of profile, we are more concerned and more want to connect with people who are passionate about this business and want to serve the clients, because the franchisee partner is going to be face of our brand in front of the customers. And we are not only looking at people who have financial knowledge, because that training we can do in terms of product and all, but we want real serious people who want to expand and who want to serve the clients. When I say serve, the entire delight, we have two different teams. One we call internally also as a client, a growth team, and a client delight team. So the experience of the app, the experience of with the Savart is all going to make the changes. So for that delight we will do, but one of the reasons we are entering into this franchisee model is we want to move from, we have been digital space for the last 3 years, and we want to make our entire brand as a phygital one, where there is physical presence also for the clients to interact. And then digital marketing is where we will be doing a lot of lead generation and helping others as well. So while we do the brand building as a part from the Savart, we want, when people want to visit someone and want to have a face to it, these franchisee partners are the ones that we are looking at to be. So anyone with a passion to serve is okay with us. We will do our due diligence, and Franchise India would also do their own due diligence when we are connecting. But that there is no other specifics we are looking at. But if a graduate or a little bit of educated person is there, then it is easy for them to understand the business. Shaz, and any more queries, any more details you're looking from this?
Yeah.
I think this is helpful, and friends, we are happy to even share the breakup of the investment. Should you be keen for a partnership which is full-time between a unit as well as an area development franchise partnership. We see a lot of questions which have come in. We'll take all your questions also, and I'll request friends, I see hands also being raised. If you can put your questions and write that in the Q&A box with the interest of the city or the location that you come from. If you want to even share your profile with us, that would be helpful in taking these questions. So quickly, I'll recap the model, friends, just to ensure that we are all on the same ground. So Savart is a SEBI registered investment advisory, financial advisory company, and they have integrated AI and technology very, very successfully in their business model with intelligent systems of research. And I would say, AI-based investment research, which kind of idiot proofs, their services to their end users. And they have had the experience of servicing and serving their clientele in more than 33 countries as we speak. And the asset classes which they deal in include stocks, mutual funds, gold, bonds, and also personal finance. And through AI, they're also able to even, automate your portfolio, or I would say the management of the entire portfolio can also be automated through the AI system that they have. If you look at the overall financial industry in India, financial industry in the country is a leader in embracing any new technology which comes in, from usage of AI-powered solutions which the brand is using, where they're using it to unlock the revenue growth potential, also to minimize operating expenses, right? So that's very, very important area. And equally be able to automate a lot of manually intensive processes and idiot-proof them. Which also helps in improving the security and also transparency in the system for also the end user. And the biggest problem, which they're solving is inclusion, which is very, very important, especially for a common man who can participate in investment of various financial asset classes, so to say. And they also participate in the entire journey of their client through their various subscription services. And the biggest, I would say the biggest target audience is the retail investors. Investors like all of us, right? So I feel the two big things which a company, and especially in this category or industry, needs, and which Savart has integrated very, very successfully is, a relevant proposition for their client. Players in the industry will only be successful if they are moving just from a product provisioning approach, because typically people were giving a product to be sold to their customers, but that approach does not work anymore. And this approach has also got into a lot of distrust with, people like us who feel that they are pushed a product which sometimes don't make sense to their life goals, their financial goals, their risk appetite, all that put together. So it is moving from a product provisioning approach to a customer need servicing approach, where the value propositions are built around the customers and their needs are based on, like I heard we spoke in the presentation, around their overall goals of their life, what they want to achieve in the midterm, long term. And second, which is very important, is also to have a customer experience which is both assisted and also self-service, right? So which is a seamless structure across physical as well as channels, which is, technology. The proposition are three, which they are proposing. One is you can become a referral partner with them. Second, you become a growth partner. And third is a franchise proposition, where you can either take a unit franchisee or you can take a area developer, so either a city or a state. Comparatively a low capex model, where while we did talk about the infrastructure investment also, but I understand people who are already doing something or some business of their and most of the locations, even if you want to take up our, plug and play location, so it would not require too much of investment in the infrastructure, but two investments you will still end up making as a unit franchisees, that on a franchise fee, and the deposit which a company would take when you become a partner. So my first question, I was taking some notes as we were going through, and we'll take some questions also from the participants who are there. And guys, keep writing in. We'll take all your questions. And Sankarshi, my first question, while you talked about the differentiator, but we still have a lot of, players in the market which are providing on the face of it, looks like the similar services. So what would be 2 or 3 things that you think, make us stand out versus the competition in the market, is my very first question to you.
Sure. So I've been reading through the comments or the questions myself as well. So I'll take up 3-4 at the same time, which are related to the question. So most of them are still confusing between a broker and an advisor, basically. Right. So that is why we've been asked questions on discount broking. The fees is very low, brokerage is low. So like I'll re-explain that part. We are partnered with brokers. We are not brokers ourselves. Our job is to actually invest, help clients invest responsibly and smartly to make the right returns or performance, basically. So that analogy that I gave was between a doctor and a medical shop. So our duty is to diagnose and recommend the treatment, but then you could buy the medicines at any given medical shop. So here the brokers are like the medical shop and we are like the doctor. So we are not competing with each other, but in fact, we are in complementary positions basically. So that's also the reason why Savart application is integrated with some of the top brokers in the country to help our clients invest with convenience. Number one. Number two, as I was saying, competition is the least of our concerns at this point of time because of the very, very abysmally low number of investment advisors in the country. Basically, there's less than 1,000 active advisors, which is almost equivalent to zero for the kind of population, and even with the low equity participation that we have, that number is still low on a ratio basis. From a per active trader is to an investment advisor ratio is really, really, really small. So our current issue is not with competition at all. Our current issue is with educating a client and convincing them to invest for the long term, because most of them want to make quick money, right? Everybody wants to make quick money. So educating them and letting them stay patient with your investment advice is the main concern here. We never faced a situation where a client came and said, should I invest with Savart or should I invest with XYZ company? It almost never happened with us. What happens in fact is clients say, why should I invest in stock? Why not in real estate or fixed deposit basically? So we are talking about a competition at an asset class level here, not in terms of services. And the fact that we are at least 5 to 10 years away from that massive shift from physical assets of Indians from gold and real estate specific investing mindset to a financial asset mindset. So we have this very, very critical time in between where we need to start educating, creating that awareness and get these people on board. So by the time that big shift happens, we already have a nice market share in terms and a good brand standing. So that is the entire plan, basically, I would say.
I think that's very helpful. And, my second question, I'll go a little bit deeper into how a unit economics would work for a typical partner. And maybe starting with the slide itself, where we've talked about 3 different partnership programs. And would you want to maybe even differentiate typical, a referral partner? Who would that be? Is there a specific profile of a partner? Who do we, brand as a growth partner, and who would qualify as a franchisee partner is one of the questions I have. And would there be a difference in terms of the support or the offering these 3 different profile of partners can offer to their customers?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sangat, let me take that. Is that okay? Yeah.
Sure.
So, yeah. So, Sonia, the referral partner, like I was referring earlier also, is someone who is just a client, who's an individual looking to. Referral partner and growth partners are very similar in terms of their profile that we are looking. These are individual people. Referral partner, like I think one of the questions asked is like, can I have no space and still become a partner and do that?
Yes.
That is where your referral partner becomes, because you are an individual. In the typical investment journey, the other companies, this is mentioned as DSA, direct sales agents. So because we don't want to mention that as a sales agent, we are saying a referral partner here. It is a similar kind of a profile. You are an individual, you have a network, you are also using the service and you want others to use this service. There we give you the commission. So in terms of getting value, a referral partner gets typically 20 to 25% of the subscription fee as their revenue for it. So there's no investment required. You become a referral partner. That's where even the growth partner is part-time, but a little bit evolved, where he has little space there and he still becomes, he can earn up to 30-35%. There's no marketing that he is doing. If there is an area he is actually doing, this is a growth partner. The reason we kept it as a part-time is you're combining this with some other of your entity. So we are also not looking at this as a partner but you will have to pay the franchisee fee or anything as a growth partner to become. So there is a physical asset space, but you are not only dealing with Savart product as a one. That is what is the growth product. So then
when you say this, the product, it means that he can deal with other financial services as well.
Not an investment advisory, but any other financial product is fine. So if he's selling a mutual fund or if he's selling insurance products, those are the typical ones. So, but we would want specifically that investment advisory, if he want to sell, he needs to sell exclusively. There is no non-competence can't be there, because it is a conflict of interest for himself and it is a conflict of interest for the client also. The entire idea of Savart's pricing is also in that we serve in the interest of the client. So if you're trying to solicit clients in our name and try to do the business with someone else, it is not acceptable. The third one is the franchisee partner.
And what percentage would he get as a commission
between
on
30 to 35%. This is higher because he's investing and he's keeping, there is a brand visibility and all. So we are moving up to 30 to 35% of revenue share for him.
Okay.
And franchisee partner, single unit, multi-unit as an area developer for a state, has the higher share of the entire gambit. So franchisee partner who works with only Savart, but for him, this investment advisory has to be the passion. So there we insist that he needs some space, 100, 150, though the site says 800, we are not very limited to that kind of a space only to be there. The idea of space is when the client comes, you should have a nice decor to him to have sit, and there will be webinars that we want to conduct and all. So if people want to come and walk through into the store of that, they can listen through those webinars, like on this. There will be live sessions, a TV is placed so that they have those education campaigns. So that is the kind of a space we are looking at with a nice decor. So 100, 150 would also be efficient. So, and they would need a franchisee partner, typically needs 2 to 3 people as their employees. One is who will do the telecalling in terms of either outbound calling, or if someone calls in, they can attend. And then the second 1 or 2 forces who are the ground force, who will meet decoration, who will go to the nearest places, nearest malls or nearest societies and give them the branding material so that you get leads and generate the business. There we are sharing up to 45% for a single unit or a multi-unit. For an area developer or for the entire state, we are ready to share up to 55%.
All right, that's helpful. I'll take 1 or 2 questions and I'll request Saras to take some questions together, which I see which might have not been answered. Now, when we come to the unit economics for a center, I would like to understand a couple of things. How many clientele customers ideally would one need to make it viable for him to run, and what is the typical average per ticket size? And also, because he would be running these services over a period of time, and your own experience, how big is my repeat customer? Typically month on month, how many customers is he able to acquire is something we'll like to understand.
Sure.
Okay. So coming
You
to
want to take
that.
that up, Kranti?
Yeah, please.
Okay, fine. I'll take it up. Fine. In terms of our average revenue per user, right? ARPU that we call.
I think we can remove the slide. Friends, if you need more information, you please let us
Kranti,
know.
I think you can stop.
Yes,
sharing.
we have a detailed working that we have done on these partnership models, which includes the breakup of the investment, and also gives you understanding on the operating expenses in detail, which we can discuss offline one-to-one with you. Sorry.
Sure. No problem. Sure. So with respect to the answers to the particular question you were asking about the operating metrics, right? So one, in terms of our average revenue per user, the ticket size is around 10,000 rupee per annum. So we do have, like I said, 2 different plans, and we are coming up with separate programs of like personal finance, where it's a AUA based charge, 1.5% or so, and PMS, which also has a profit sharing fee and an management fees, right? So currently with the subscription plans, it's 10,000 rupees per user, average revenue per user. But then there's more number of revenue lines going to be added up. So the number of options.
The value-added services, which will be added.
A lot of services, and not just value added, also alternate services itself, because advisory is a pure play subscription, but then PMS is also a management fee and a profit sharing fee, where the margins are also even higher basically. So those opportunities are abound, and we could get into those details.
And are we still offering that to a franchise partner, or are we limiting it to only subscription?
No, absolutely no. We are offering all of these services.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, subject to compliance and regulatory requirements, there would be certain process, but then we are offering all these services basically.
Okay.
There's no problem with that. And second, in terms of the break even or operational metrics, while we could get into the specifics offline individually, but I'll give you a macro level picture basically. So depending, assuming say 10,000 rupees is the average revenue per user, say 100 to 150 clients basically in a month would be more than sufficient to actually cover most of the costs, and also a very, very comfortable break even at a monthly level point of view. And in fact, the average revenue per user could even be at 5,000 to 6,000, still this break-even would be achieved. In fact, 10,000 is a massive kind of overstatement, honestly. And second, in terms of our retention and say attrition numbers, right? So we have been increasing our retention. Our first year retention was only around 40% approximately, 20 to 40%. In fact, not even 40. It was on the lower end of 30s basically in our first year of subscription. But then we understood that the problem was with technology and experience and engaging the client. So our latest numbers are now close to 80% retention, basically 70 to 80% retention. So all that the lessons that we have learned and what we'll pass on to our partners also is to provide a nice, seamless and a delightful client experience basically. So stay engaged with them, clarify all their doubts, be proactive, as well as be available throughout with the client throughout the journey. That is what people want. And second priority is always performance basically. So first is experience, second is performance. So, and we have a lot of data and metrics and analytical things that we have done internally on what works, when you have to send a notification to a client, how do you have to do it. We have everything in place. So we'll be more than happy to provide that training and insights basically to all of our partners.
That's helpful. So what you're saying is about 100 to about 150 odd clients on a monthly basis. And how long does it take for somebody to reach that number?
So we would say, I mean, for us, again, it was exceptional kind of timeline. I think 1.5 months we were able to hit that kind of a number for us, but even we can't kind of imitate or duplicate that ourselves again. So I would say 3 to 4 months can be a nice cushion or a period to get that. But again, it may not lead to immediate break even because there will be some upfront costs that the franchisee or the development partner could be involved in, including the capex. So I would say 6 to 9 months can be a very perfect timeline to achieve these numbers, to break even, and also look at future potential growth and a nice cash flow basically.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Now,
Sonia, just want to put in a different way. Operational break-even can be achieved for a monthly person. The franchisee can do in 3 to 4 months. The entire investment break-even happens in 1 year's time, whether they are doing a single unit or multi-unit. So they will be profitable in this, but operational break-even will happen in 3 to 4 months.
Wonderful. I'll take a question because I didn't cover up, on cover the area developer part of our relationship. Now with another tier coming in, typically what becomes a sharing between these two people? What does area bring in? Because I'm sure, when we have another tier, there is some sharing on the subscription fee or the profit sharing. So typical fee structure for an area developer, is that based on the number of units which would come under him? How have we kind of, pull that model together for area?
Sure. Kranti, you want to take that up?
I think I got the stuck. Can you repeat the question? I'll take it up.
I want, basically want to know, because we're also giving an area developer opportunity for our business model. So typically, what would that look like? What becomes an upfront investment typically for area developer? And I assume the area partner also needs to open one center of his own.
Yes,
and plus, he will also develop the territory. So there would also be some kind of sharing on the franchise fees and ongoing royalties or profit sharing, subscription, money sharing with another tier. How would that look like broadly?
Yeah, so area developer, as you say, like I said, state is the entire territory we are looking for as an area developer.
Only state.
We already have.
We would not give it lesser than a state.
State as or tier 1, tier 2 multi-unit is also fine, but area developer we are looking there. We have brought in the exclusive clause. Now, Sonia, the reason why exclusive here is typical is if I for a smaller unit, I can't give the exclusivity on what is the business, because this is a financial product. I don't know where the client lives. Only on Aadhaar card base we can't give, because like right now many people will be staying at a different location, working at a different location. They will walk into a different location of a Savart franchisee and do the business. So too much of complication. So we are limiting that. If you're looking at a state, the investment Savart franchisee fee will be 50 lakhs for the entire state. So there you will get the advantages that you get is that any franchisee or any single unit, multi-unit being opened there will be coming under the area developer for the state, and any business that is happening in that area, that state particularly, it will be under the area franchise area developer.
Any leads which come on your own platform, all that is given to a franchise partner. won't create.
Yes, any leads. If someone is trying my website, if it's his location, let's say, just for example, Maharashtra is one as an entire state. So if someone is from Maharashtra has reached us, this is the lead that we will pass on to the client there. Whoever is developing the area, he can either close it on himself with his unit, or if he wants to divide between his franchises down the lane, we are okay. So this is the 55% share will go into the master franchisee or the area developer for the state. Out of that 55, based on the sub unit who is closing. So if it is 25%, if it is a deal that is done by the growth partner or a referral partner, 20-25% goes to him. He can keep 35%. If a single unit or a multi-unit franchisee closes it, 45% goes to him and 10% will be there with him. But the exclusivity will bring in a lot of opportunity that we are getting in there.
Now I'll take maybe two more questions. One is what would a franchisee need in terms of license? Are there any licenses which are required for them to operate? Is a question which I like to take. And there's another question which I had also written, and this question is around I would say, different asset classes, because we're managing different asset classes. Which are the biggest asset classes portfolio on an average, which are being managed, maybe biggest contributors, so to say. So these are two questions which I wanted to take, and then I'll pass on to Saras to take and combine some questions in the interest of the time that we're left with.
Sure. So in terms of licenses and compliance and regulatory requirements, like I said, there's a very clear process in terms of that. There are certain certifications and there are certain licenses which are not very expensive, but then they are intensive in terms of the compliance, in terms of the knowledge and the information one needs to possess, and certain set of protocols that need to be followed. And we are very, very strict with these kind of compliance things as well. And there will be complete hand holding in terms of how to do it, how to apply, how to get it. So these, in terms of process, timelines and cost, these are not too high. But then in terms of following those protocols and everything, we need to be really meticulous, basically. So in terms of not over promising to a client or guaranteeing return, no mis-selling, keeping a record of all communications that are being made, and conducting audits, these are all very much in place. Basically, we need to comply with them. So that's number one. And the other question was in terms of asset classes. Direct equity or direct stock investment would be our number one asset that we invest in, and followed by equity mutual funds, then debt mutual funds, and then bonds and gold, basically in that particular order, I would say. Okay. And also one more thing in terms of what Kranti said, just as a small clarification, just so that it's interpreted well. In terms of the example with the Maharashtra or a state level franchisee that he's given, we do pass on prospects when we know the location about, say, they are from Maharashtra and they want to go visit the office. But again, we do not control if the client has directly come on to the Savart application, and we do not know the location because we don't track it on a continuous basis, and they kind of sign up and subscribe. So that we would not be able to control. What we can definitely is, many times the client comes in, calls up and says, I want to visit your Mumbai branch. So of course that will be passed on to the partner. So just to avoid any kind of miscommunication there, we wanted to clarify.
Helpful. Saras, would you want to take some questions which have not been answered? I see some questions that we might want to take.
Absolutely, thank you, ma'am. And the typical question that's popping up, combining of them, is operational expenses. So we're talking about the revenue share. So operational expenses, how many people do we need in that particular store, and average salaries that we're talking about. So how do we compete and beat that with the revenue that I will make? That's one.
Okay.
Yeah, so Saras, that's is part of the entire investment we are looking at. That's where. So if a franchisee is looking at minimum 2 to 3 employees he needs, with an average salary range based on the city that they are working. In tier 2 cities, for these professionals, you might pay 15,000-18,000. In tier 1 city, around 22 to 25,000. So what we are not looking at is people who can have good communication skills, preferably if that local area is of their own native language, so you will have native language speakers, or if it is little tier 1 like Hyderabad, Mumbai and all, you will have more of Hindi English speaking audiences also. So that's the way you need to communicate. So not very high paying, and this operational initial investment, but the first 2-3 months will also be part of this 5 to 8 lakhs of investment that I said should cover for their three members team around 75,000 of monthly expenses is what they're looking at.
Also, I have typical questions coming here, like a lot of people who are self-preneurs already doing this business as a consultancy. So does it really become mandate for them to open an outlet, a space, or can they work from a virtual place?
Yeah. I think that I addressed. So if they want to be self-preneurs, don't want to open an office, they can work as our referral partners. So they can work from their home and do the business. But the revenue sharing will be a different, because there's no brand visibility and other things that are coming. But that we can negotiate based on their potential. If they're doing from entrepreneur, like Sankar was saying, there are other products too. If someone wants to comply and target only HNI clients for PMS, where the minimum cycle of investment from the client itself is SEBI mandates 50 lakhs is the minimum investment to enter into stock markets through PMS. So there we charge minimum 2% commission, and they get, for each client referral, they might earn up to 30,000-40,000. So with one client in a month, you are actually covered with a lot of expense. So how do you want to target that? More discussion can happen into one-to-one in terms of more detail, how you can generate more revenue with that.
Amazing. So last question I take up from a very senior consultant, probably a partner that we have, Mr. Mistry, Mr. Jagdish Mistry. Are we also giving options for insurance? So are you an insurance broker?
No, so we're not in our new personal finance division that we have started. We do comment on insurance, but then we do not sell or kind of make any commissions there. It's personal finance is very investment focused, basically, that service. So it's not into insurance broking or anything. We're not into that. And also, I would like to take up one last question which came up multiple times. Who are the brokers that we are partnered up with? So there are most of the major brokers in India we are already partnered with through APIs or through third-party external providers, basically. So and these are API integrations that we have with their own technology platforms or broking platforms. So we have Upstocks, Zerodha, HDFC Securities, Kotak, and ICICI and Sher Khan and Grow. And I think all of the top 10-15 brokers, most of them at least, are already on the Savart platforms integrated list, basically.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
just to add to that, Sankarsh, for the clarity, it is always the end user's choice through which broker he wants to transact. Though these are 10 to 15 that are there, that is for their ease of use purposes. So if some end user, after taking my advice, he wants to go with his own broker, we are open to that, and we can't play a restrictive role there. Either ourselves or our franchisee partners. They can always, the final execution has to be the end clients.
Well, in favor of time, I think we should end this. But again, very informative and very overwhelming responses that we are really getting from the investors. So, friends, if you need any more clarification, Franchise India will be more than happy to arrange a one-on-one call directly with Mr. Sankarsh or Mr. Kranti, who will be happy to take any of your questions. I'm posting the numbers or hotline numbers on the chat box, but on favor of audience, I'll announce it. It's 97176 83838. I repeat, our hotline numbers are 97176 83838. We're waiting for your emails, and it's simple. It's feedback@franchiseindia.in. Feedback@franchiseindia.in is our email address. Please write to us. Any last minute notes, ma'am, you would like to give?
I think this was wonderful. And, before we close, Sankarsh, Kranti, you want to give any message to the audience who's listening to us? And friends, a request, we have shared our details in the chat box. You can copy our email ID. You can even WhatsApp on this number. Our team at Franchise India would reach out to you and arrange an offline meeting or a virtual call as the case may be. Over to you.
Sure. So I'd like to thank everybody for the time, and really pleased with the kind of questions and all the participation that we have seen. So we are on our way to kind of be India's leader in asset management, and we invite all of you to be a partner in this journey as well. And like Saras and Sonia have already mentioned, we're happy to take any more questions, and we could talk in a lot more detail, basically. Thanks.
Thank you, and friends. Over to Harshika, and friends, do join us. We are starting a great series of Bharat Franchise Show. So, Harshika, over to you if you want to tell that. And the link is already there at the chat box.
Great. Thank you so much, Saraswati. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am and Sankarji, Krantiji for this wonderful presentation discussion about the brand Savart. Friends, you can reach us on our hotline number for more details about the brand 9717683838. You can also write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. The brand is again participating in tomorrow's Bangalore event that is happening in Sterling Mac Hotel. So you can reach directly to the owners of Savart in the venue tomorrow in Bangalore Franchise Show. Also, we are coming with lots more brands from the different regions and from the different category tomorrow's event in Bangalore. Do reach us on our hotline number for registration in Bangalore event. And as Sarasa said, we are doing our evening series Bharat Franchise Show starting from today. To do your registration link sent over the chat box. The webinar starts at 7 p.m. in the evening. To know more about this opportunity, the brands that we have invited, Luxon, Tootsie, Rana Gale, Kareem's, lots more brands. So you can reach us on our hotline number 9717683838. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar.
Thank you, friends. Just to add on, this is a series that is starting tomorrow, Sunday, till the following Sunday, which is, I think, 20th. And we are bringing about 45 companies in this week, and about 5 to 6 companies every day are coming and presenting. The leadership, the management of these will come and present the business opportunity. We have a physical show which is happening in Bangalore, which happens in the hotel, which starts at morning about 10 o'clock till about 6 in the evening. And so you can reach out to us for more details on our hotline number, friends, and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you so much, Kranti, for being with us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.